Welcome to Monday Mortgage Mayhem with Sheila and Mike. And we're here today to talk about down payment assistance, which is a really great option for buyers that are, struggling a little bit to try and purchase homes now with the high interest rates and things like that. So, this is really going to kind of be more about Mike just telling you about all these down payment assistance program. Man, that is a hard thing to say. Down payment assistance program.
Yeah. I have a hard time saying borrower. It's a tough one for me. It's a borrower. To all of our borrowers out there.
All right. So today we're just going to list out a few different types of programs and we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each of them and why should you be using your own money instead of those down payment assistant programs. So, all right. So
In some
without further
cases.
ado,
Yep.
I'm going to put up the list of programs so you can kind of take a look at them and Mike's going to go over them.
So I just want to touch on a handful of these programs that are available as mortgage brokers. The nice thing is that if you're working with one direct lender, like one big bank, typically they'll have one, maybe two down payment assistance programs. Usually they just have one that they go with. But as a broker, since we work with so many different wholesale lenders, that if one lender has one program, another one has a couple, another one, we end up with a healthy list of different programs and options that we can help people that are looking for down payment assistance, or at least maybe even just a little bit of help on some monies that'll go toward closing costs that will help them use some extra monies for down payments. So either way you slice it, those monies can apply and help when people need a little extra cash to get the deal done. Can you put that back up on the screen real quick?
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
So just to touch on a handful of these, one of the things, there's a program out there called Mishta that typically is offered by retail lenders, and Mishta is a good program. Anytime we are offering programs different from what I don't want to say competitors, but other competitors lenders are offering, we always, in any business, we want to learn as much about the products that we may be competing with, so we know how they work and we know how ours work and we know how we can present an advantage of ours. Mist is a great program, but you typically have to pay all of that back. At some point in time, it's either a second loan or it's just a note out there. Maybe it's $10,000, but it sits out there. And at some point, when you refinance or sell that home, you're going to have to pay all of that money back. So the majority of our programs are grants, and grants simply mean you never have to pay them back. It's literally free money if you qualify or fall into the parameters of what these programs offer. So the first one on the list is the 1% down. It's a conventional product, not FHA, which is nice. And it's, again, lets you put 1% down, and the lender is going to give the other 2% up to a maximum of $4,000. So basically, it's on a $200,000 purchase. 1% down will be $2,000. The lender will kick in the other $4,000, and you now have a minimum 3% down payment. That $4,000 is free money; does not have to be paid back. One of the qualifiers on that is your income cannot exceed 80% of the area median income of where you're moving to. If you're
Hmm.
over that, then you may not be able to qualify for this. So it really is helping people that are a little short on funds and don't make quite as much as what the average of everybody else in the area makes. It's there to help those types of people. So we have the 1% down conventional. We have an FHA down payment, and it gives you the entire 3.5%, which is the minimum you need for an FHA mortgage. So it gives you the whole 3.5% complimentary. So if it's a $200,000 home, 3.5% is going to be $7,000 that you will be able to get and does not have to be paid back. Now on this program, it's a little bit of an elevated interest rate. It's in the high sevens, which is higher than the market rates right now. But they do allow you to refinance out of that rate in as little as 6 to 7 months, and you still don't have to pay any of that money back.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So it's not like they say you have to hold this note for 5 years. You only have
Right.
to hold it for 6 months,
Yeah.
and then you could potentially refinance to a better rate. You never have to give that money back, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Another one out there, Freddie Mac Borrow Smart. is it's income based. Again, you have to fall between 50 and 80% of the income of the average of what people in the area you're moving to makes. And they'll give you a credit. The credits used to be higher. They've scaled this program back a little bit, but if your income falls there, you can get a $500 credit to help offset some closing costs for you. There's Home Ready and Home Possible, which is one is through Fannie, one is through Freddie. They have some reduced interest rates, and you only have to put 3% down. So they're not really their first-time home buyer incentive programs are not really down payment assistance, but the point is that we always will match up our borrowers to whatever program is best for them.
Right.
The next one is a sort of a newer program. It's a $5,000 credit toward your closing cost package, and it's interesting because it's free money. It's a grant, doesn't have to be paid back, but it's based on not where you're moving to, but where you're moving from. And predominantly the three main areas, I guess, city areas are Detroit, Warren, and Dearborn. So we have a tool that if you're moving from one of those areas to elsewhere, and we put your address in the tool and it comes up and says it's eligible, you can get a $5,000 credit toward your closing costs and $500 to offset the cost of your appraisal.
Wow.
That's a great program, and it's incentivizing. Basically, those are very heavily populated areas. It's kind of incentivizing people to branch out into less populated areas, so they give you a financial incentive to do so. And that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Pretty big incentive.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's always VA and USDA programs that both require no down payment, so you get 100% financing on the home. And, if you can couple one of those loan programs with getting sellers concessions to help pay your closing costs, with these two programs, you literally can buy a home with no money out of pocket.
Yeah.
And we've done deals like this where we got concessions that covered all the closing costs. We got no down payment, and my buyers get a home with no money out of pocket if they qualify. There's restrictions and different things on each of these, but a lot of different variety on trying to help people that need a little bit of cash get into homes. So we have a lot of options on the broker channel, on the broker side.
That's fantastic, Mike. Can you also let them know about your what is it, Homes for Heroes?
Yeah. So we are the affiliate in the counties, different counties of Michigan, but we do the entire state of Michigan, actually Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Colorado. We're an affiliate with Homes for Heroes. And basically the five main hero categories are law enforcement, firefighters, first responders, healthcare, military, and teachers. I said firefighters, first responders are both in the same category. But anybody who works in any capacity in any of those fields is a real life hero. And with that, we have negotiated discounts and savings on their closing costs to help them out. We're typically able to comp their appraisals for them. We wipe out any processing costs. They get discounts on title services. And then if they work with a affiliated real estate agent, there's some credits on the back end and or a post-closing rebate. So the average savings is around $3,000 to $4,000 for our heroes. And that's why we're ranked so high in the state of Michigan for what we're doing for our heroes in that program, and saving them a tremendous amount of money, helping them get into homes with as little out of pocket as possible.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That program is just so amazing, and I know you've helped so many people get into homes just through that program. So thank you so much for all you do, Mike, to help
Absolutely.
them out.
I thank you for what they do. Truly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Truly.
I'm going to throw up on the screen just our information. Reach out to Mike. Like we've explained in previous videos, the first step in any home buying process is to get pre-approved. And there's so many down payment assistant programs out there for every single person. The first step is just making that phone call. Don't feel, I think sometimes people are like, they already have that mentality or that mindset, like, it's not going to happen for me, or, my credit's too bad, or, the first step is that conversation, because you need to know where you are in order to know where you need to be. So, don't feel bad if you're in a certain position. You can learn what you need to do to get to where you need to be. And who knows, maybe with the down payment assistance and maybe a little bit of money that you have, you can get into a home. So it's just really having that initial conversation up front to find out where you need to be. And maybe it's only a couple months away. So you just never know. You just really never know. And Mike, do you have any parting thoughts?
No, like you said, I still have a lot of people sending homes that they've looked online and they're falling in love with, and they're still not pre-approved.
Right.
And it's just the emotion people get when you're looking at these homes. You start picturing yourself in that home and growing your family in that home, and you get like, oh my god, this home is amazing, and we got to get our offer in, and they're not pre-approved yet. And normally, I mean, I've turned pre-approvals around in 2 hours, but
Yeah.
sometimes based on the borrower situation, or some gaps in their paperwork, sometimes it can take a couple of days to
Yeah.
get a real final answer and a real approval that they can count on. And sometimes they could miss out on that home. So like you said, please don't shop for homes, which is a very emotional thing to do, before you get your financing in order and know that you're ready to pull the trigger on it.
Exactly. And as a listing specialist, that like I can't tell you, that is the biggest thing that sellers look at and real estate agents look at when they're presenting offers is where's that pre-approval at? Is it a prequal? Is it a pre-approval? And if it is a pre-approval, we're going to call the mortgage lender to make sure that definitely this person is in a good position to buy, that we're not going to run into any hiccups. Just having that conversation with the mortgage person as well helps the seller feel more confident that they're selecting the right buyer. So really, you need to get yourself in a really great position if you're serious about purchasing a home. But check out those down payment assistant programs through Mike Hawker. I'm going to throw the information right back up on the screen so you can check it out. 248-379-4232 to contact Mike Hawker, or you can scan that. It'll take you to his application page. You can, begin that process. But honestly, if you just call him, Mike is so friendly. He just you end up being friends at the end of the transaction because he's just such a nice guy. But just really just have that conversation and get educated about the process. And Mike is, like I said before, that's why I choose Mike as my mortgage business partner, because he just is like me. He likes to educate the people about the process so you don't feel like you're getting taken advantage of. So, all right, Mike,
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
else?
and it's also important to work with a what's the word? Just a real estate agent that, like you, that is full of trust and ethics. A lot of agents that don't maintain great communication with the lender, and they're all about getting their offers accepted. And I've had some agents out there that have put offers in, never verifying. They put offers in higher than the pre-approval letter, or offering guarantees, not knowing if they had enough money to cover that guarantee. And they put these offers in, and then they come back, say, hey, we got our offer accepted, and oh, by the way, do they have enough money to cover this $7,500 appraisal gap that we offered? I mean, it's like, you know they put their buyers and us in a position where a loan could possibly fail because they made an offer that
Yeah.
didn't match what they were qualified for.
Yeah.
You maintain so much communication and make sure that everything you put on an offer can be backed up.
Yep.
So we're working with agents that are all about really you, and other agents that don't want to put people in homes that they can't afford. You're like that. You really
Yeah.
care about your clients, and you
Yeah.
don't want to put them into a home, or if you know there's going to be a huge increase in taxes next year, let's talk about that and not put you in a position. There's a lot of agents out there that just want to get the sales and post, I did X amount this year, I'm great. And they're
Yeah.
really not really with the client's best interest. So they need somebody like you in their corner every single time.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys found value in today's video. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you put them in the comments below, either on YouTube or on social media, wherever this is posted. And yeah, we'll talk to you next Monday. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you, Sheila.